Okay. So again, let us talk in terms of what is given and what we have to find out, right? So first of all, it is given that this link AB is acting as a crank, or it is an input link, right? And it is rotating with the angular velocity of omega in the clockwise direction. Then this next thing which is provided to us, or that will be provided to us in the numericals, this is the length of all these links. That is length of AB, then length of BC, length of CD, length of PF, and length of CF, right? So length of all the links. So this is given to us. These are the two things which are given to us. And now what we have to find out. Right? So first of all, we have to find out the velocity of this point C, right? So absolute velocity of C, right? And after that, we have to find out the absolute velocity of this point E, right? Absolute velocity of point E. And finally, we have to find out the absolute velocity of this point F. So now a very important thing to note here is that this BCF is a single link, right? And this F is basically an offset point with respect to the link BC, right? So absolute velocity point F. So these are the three things which we have to find out, and this is the information which is given to us, right? So now let us start it. Let us start it that how are we going to solve this with using this graphical approach. So I'm going very, very slow here, right? So just note the important points. So the steps which you have to remember very carefully, right? So first of all, step one, what we have to do. Right? So first of all, let us form the vector equation. Okay. So let us start with first absolute velocity of point C, right? So let us start with this, right? So I can represent this with simply VC, right? So VC vector. So whenever I use this notation, VC vector, right? So you can imagine this, that this is a velocity of C with respect to some origin, right? With respect to some fixed point. So this is VC vector, right? Now, first of all, step one. So in step one, simply write the vector equation. So this should be your first step, right? So in the first step, just to have a general idea, write the vector equation to calculate the VC vector. Okay. So let me take you back to the original diagram and just tell me what vector equation we can write down to find out this VC vector, right? Or the velocity of this point C. So can anyone guess? Vector equation simply, which we discussed in the previous session, the triangle law, the polygon law, all those things, right? So just tell me, just try to guess that how can we form the vector equation if we have to calculate the velocity of this point C.
AB plus BC.
So very good. So it is nothing. See, if you have to calculate the velocity of point C, right? So that means this VC vector is what? VC vector is nothing. This is velocity of point C, right? With respect to A, right? or you can simply say velocity of C with respect to D, right? So very carefully, if you observe here, right, this is simply velocity of C with respect to some fixed point. So which two fixed points are there? One is point A, another is point D. So you can simply write down that this VC vector is nothing. This is velocity of C with respect to A, or you can say velocity of C with respect to D. So now you mentioned that this VCA vector, right? It should be VCB plus VAB, something like that. Right? So what is the reason why you took that route? Why don't you directly say that okay, this is VCD, right? So why you need to take this route? So can anyone guess?
So because we are providing an input to A, B.
Very good, very good. See, so now the next thing which we have to consider while writing down this vector equation, right? The things which are given to us. See, if we talk of this VCD, so nothing is provided. We cannot come to any conclusion, right? But if we talk of this, so at least we know the velocity of this point B, right? So how you will come to know, right? So right now, right now, you simply write down the equation that VCA vector is nothing. VCA vector is velocity of C with respect to B plus velocity of B with respect to A. So this is your vector equation. So this is just to give you a general idea before going for the this graphical analysis, right? Now we can simply write down this whole equation as AC, right? AC is equal to DC is equal to AB plus BC. So this is very simple. We can write down this equation into this form. AC is equal to simply DC vector is equal to AB vector plus BC vector. So do you agree with this? Is this clear? This step is clear to all of you? This is nothing. Now I have just written down in this notation. So this is simply velocity of C with respect to A is equal to velocity of B with respect to A plus velocity of C with respect to B. Nothing else, right? So now let us move to step 2. So first of all, okay. So first of all, here draw the vector which is completely known to us. First of all, right, this is very important. So in the first step, we will draw that vector which is completely known to us, right? So just can you tell me that which vector is completely known to us? So this is your vector equation, right? Now in this vector, just tell me which vector is completely known to you.
AB.
VBA or VCB or VCA, which vector?
AB.
VBA.
Very good. So completely known to us, that means the vector which is known in magnitude as well as direction. That means completely known. That means you should know the magnitude as well as the direction of that vector. Right? So here we can easily guess that this VBA vector is that vector, right? So now, first of all, we will draw VBA vector, right? Or you can simply say AB vector, right? Right? Now the magnitude of this VBA vector, what is the magnitude of this VBA vector? That is simply the velocity of B with respect to A. So can anyone tell what will be the magnitude of this VBA vector?
Omega AB.
Very good. So it will be simply omega AB. That's it. Right. So velocity of point B with respect to A, this is simply equal to omega AB. Right. Now, what will be the direction? Let us talk about direction. VBA vector. Right. So direction. This is magnitude. What about direction? So what will be the direction of this? So simply just tell me that will it point upwards or will it point downwards? Is the
Downward.
question clear? Is this going to point upwards or is this going to point downwards?
Downwards.
Right? So obviously this link AB, it is rotating in clockwise direction. So that's why it is going to point in the downward direction. Right? So VBA vector is simply perpendicular to AB and the downward direction. Right? So now let us draw this vector AB first. Okay. Let me take you here. And to draw this, what you have to do simply, first of all, you simply take a point at any point anywhere in the space, right? You can take this point anywhere in the space, right? So now just call this point as the points A comma D. So here you spot the two fixed points and write the two fixed points at a single location or at a single position in the space, right? Because both are fixed points. So we will write down this thing as A comma D. Now we have to draw A B vector, right? Or you can simply say velocity of B with respect to A. So to draw that, we know the magnitude and we know the direction. So what you do, you put your roller scale here, right? And drag this roller scale till this point, right? And then what you do, just draw a line perpendicular to this AB, right? Through this point A, right? So now this is very simple. This is very simple. So this is going to represent your velocity of B with respect to A, right? So here what we have to draw a line through A, draw a line through A and perpendicular to AB, right? So this is going to represent your AB vector, correct? So now, is this clear to all of you? So let me stop here. So first of all, just tell me, is this clear? Is it clear to all of you? Any doubt into
Yes,
this?
no doubt.
Right. So now let us move ahead. Now let us go to the second step. Right. So now in the second step, two vectors are left. So which two vectors are left? If you go to this vector equation, this vector we have drawn completely. Now which two vectors are left? One is this VCB vector and another is this VCD vector, right? So right now these two vectors are left. So now let us think about that, right? So if you see this VCB vector, right? And if you observe this VCD vector, right? So can anyone tell which is the common point here,
C.
right? So which is the common point here? So point C. Right? So that means if somehow we locate, right? So this is the way this is the way you have to think. So if somehow we locate point, sorry, if somehow we locate point C, right, then our problem will be solved. If somehow we locate this point C, then our problem is solved, correct? Right? So ultimately, what was our goal? To find out the velocity of point C, right? So now these two vectors are left, right? And now if somehow we locate this common point C, then we can solve the entire problem. Now, how to locate this point C? So for that, see, very important thing I'm going to mention here, just keep this thing in mind, that directions of VCB vector and VCD vector are known, right? So direction of these two vectors are known, right? So we don't know in magnitude what will be the magnitude of this VCB vector or what will be the magnitude of this VCD vector, but fortunately, we are aware of their direction, right? So now let me write down this VCB vector. This is perpendicular to, just tell me here. So this VCB vector, it is perpendicular to which link? AB, BC, CD. So velocity of C with respect to point B, it is perpendicular to which side? Obviously, see the velocity of C with respect to point B. Again, it will be tangential velocity with respect to this side BC, correct? Right. So now you can simply write down that with this VCB vector, it is perpendicular to BC, right? So here we know the direction. Again, this VCD vector is perpendicular to what? It is perpendicular to CD, right? So again, we know the direction, right? But we are not aware of the magnitudes. So magnitudes of these two, it is not known. Now, what you do, since you know the direction, so first step is throw point B, draw a line, right, perpendicular to BC, right? So now what you have to do, throw point B, draw a line perpendicular to BC. Since we are aware of this fact that this VCB vector, it will be perpendicular to BC. So clockwise, counterclockwise, you leave it. This thing we will come later, but at least we know the direction that, okay, VCB vector is going to be perpendicular to BC, right? So now come back to the original diagram. And now what you do, again, you put your scale here and drag your scale to this point B. And then what you do, draw a line which is perpendicular to BC, right? So let me draw this. So this is your BC. BC, and then you have to draw a line perpendicular to BC. Okay. So let me first of all draw this line in a hashed pattern, right? Rather than full length solid line. Let us draw it in a dashed motion. Right? So you can draw this line with a very light hand, or simply you can draw with this thing in a dashed manner, right? So now, what is the next step? So this is somehow we draw a line through this point B, because we know that this VCB vector is perpendicular to BC, and we are trying to locate this point C. Now let us come to another one. Now, again, we know that VCD vector is perpendicular to CD. So through point D, draw a line perpendicular to, again, CD, right? So now what you do, through point D, simply draw a line which is perpendicular to CD. So this is your CD, right? This is your CD length. And now through point D, you have to draw a line which is perpendicular to CD, right? So this is very easy. This is your CD. Now, the intersection of these two lines, it simply gives you the point C. Right? So now, the intersection of about two lines, it gives you the point C. So this is very easy, right? So you have to just remember the steps. Rest of the things are very easy. So now the intersection of these 2 points, that is going to give you the point C. So now we can write down that velocity of C, or absolute velocity of this point C, it is nothing. This is simply equal to what? So can you just tell me now, what will be the absolute velocity of point C by seeing this diagram? So just tell me in terms of what AB, PD, CD. What will be the absolute velocity of point C now? through this diagram?
Sir, we can draw a vector from AD to C, and this will give us the absolute velocity of
Yeah.
C.
So now very easy. You have to simply connect these things with this one. And what will be the direction? The direction will be from D towards C. This is very easy. So this is the absolute velocity of point C with respect to D. And now you can see we can even find out the velocity of point C with respect to B as well, right? So just draw this vector also completely now. So now this is done. This is complete. So now we know all the vectors, that is velocity of VC with respect to D, velocity of C with respect to B. Every vector is known to us, right? So finally, VC vector is nothing. VC vector is simply AC vector, right? So now what you do, simply measure the length and check the direction. Simply you have to check the direction from the analysis, from the graphical analysis, right? So finally you measure this length, check the diagram, you note down those values, convert it to appropriate scale, and then you will have the absolute velocity of point C. Now again, here the velocity of point C, so this becomes known, then velocity of point C with respect to B, right? Sorry, VCB vector is equal to VC vector, right? So these two vectors now they become known to us, right? So these two vectors they become known to us, right? So at this step, most of the things are completed, most of the things are done. Now let us move ahead and try to find out the velocity of intermediate point E. So for few moments, let me ask all of you. So is there any doubt till this point? So is there any doubt till this point? Any doubt? Anything? Anyone? Is it clear to all of you or not? Or shall I repeat it somewhere? So just tell me, means there is no issue. If it is not clear, I will repeat it again. And if it's clear, then we will move ahead.
No doubt.
Okay, so it's totally fine. Okay, so now let me ask you one question, right? If you observe very carefully, right here, I talked of VCD vector. Right? So, but if you go to your original equation, here this is VCA vector. So what we did, we actually started to form the vector equation using this VCA vector. But ultimately, we reached to this VCD vector. So just tell me here, if I use this VCA vector, let us say, instead of VCD vector, I am going to use, let's say, VCA vector, right, to locate this point C. So will it be possible? Just think about this.
No,
Will it be
sir.
possible? Huh?
No, sir.
Right? So see, it could be very much difficult to locate this through point C. So in that case, what you have to do, in that case, you can do it, but it will make the things complex. In that case, then you need to connect this length AC, right? Then you will say that this VCA, it is perpendicular to this AC, right? And then you are going to do all the analysis. So what is the issue here? That these things are going to make your analysis too much complex. And it can happen that this intersection, it will become difficult to obtain. It can happen that these two lines, they can become parallel and you will not get this intersection point, right? So that's why we replace this VCA with VCD vector. So these things also you have to keep into mind. So replace the VCA vector with one, this VCD vector with one which is close to your adjacent to your fixed point, right? So this VC, this point C, it is close to this fixed point. So that's why we did that, right? So it is simpler for our analysis. So this thing, one thing you have to keep into mind. And another thing which you have to remember, see, I saw, means I made this, all these statements, right? So just because you are doing it for the first time, but if you have to become an expert, so just remember two things. After some practice, you will become an expert. So just remember two things, that it is possible to draw the entire this graphical analysis, right? If first of all, either you know, right, either you know the magnitude and direction of a vector, right? So it is possible to draw the vectors if either you know the magnitude and direction both, right? And either you know the direction of two vectors. So this is a very important point. So while doing the graphical analysis, if you remember these 2 points, every problem is easy to solve, right? So if you have to draw a vector, right, either you know the magnitude and direction both, and if the direction of two vectors is known, then also you can solve the problem, right? That's it. Now let us move ahead, and now let us talk about the absolute velocity of intermediate point E, point E on link BC. Okay, so just tell me quickly, how are we going to do this? This is very easy. So just tell me quickly, how are we going to do this? So you have done this in the last session.
So it will be in the midpoint of point A and C.
And E and
It
C.
will be proportional.
Right, proportional to what? So last session we discussed something like this, if you remember. Proportional
BC
to what?
by
Correct. So,
BE by BC.
very good. So this is very easy, right? So this whenever you have any intermediate point, always remember this. This is very easy to draw. Now in this case, you can say that BE upon BC is simply equal to BE upon BC. So now what is known to us here? This BC is entirely known. So do you agree that velocity of C with respect to B, this is entirely known to us, right? Now it's very easy to guess that now we have to calculate simply this B. So BE is simply, and the length of this BE and BC, the links of capital B and capital BC, the length of these links, these are known to us. So you can simply put it into the relation, and then the length of this BC you can measure from the graphical diagram, right? And you can put it here, and then you can simply solve this, and you will find out this BE. So once you find out BE, you can simply locate the point E on that link, right? So just tell me, this point E, small e, will it be close to point B, capital B, or will it be close to this capital C?
Close to B.
Right? So this is very obvious, since here on this length BC, this is close to this point B. So here also it will be close to this point B, right? So you simply locate it somewhere here, right? This is your point E. Now the velocity of point E with respect to what we want absolute velocity of point E. So what will be the absolute velocity of point E? If you have tried to observe this from this graphical diagram. So what will be the absolute velocity of point E? So which
AE.
length? Right, good, very good. So it is simply AE, right? So always remember, never like put like this, that velocity of E with respect to B. So sometimes people do this mistake. So it has been asked the absolute velocity of point E, right? So simply the absolute velocity of point E will be AE. So simply join this line, right? So measure the length of this line AE, that is going to give you the velocity of point E, and the direction will be obviously from A towards E, right? So velocity of E with respect to E. So this is known to us. So now VE vector. So here what you have to do to locate point E on BC, right? So this is one step. Then simply VE vector, right, is equal to AE vector, right? So again, measure the length, and then measure the length and then check the direction. Now let us come to this absolute velocity of offset point F. This is also very important. So here actually I am going to mention a very important concept later on. But first of all, let us see this absolute velocity of offset point F. Okay. So now we are interested to find out the velocity of this point F with respect to either A or you can say D, right? So just tell me how can we do that? How is it possible? Any guess? Just try to think in that direction. Okay, let me write down the vector equation. Okay, so let me write down the vector equation for this. Right? So velocity of F with respect to B, right, plus velocity of B with respect to A. If you see this, right, velocity of F with respect to B, right, plus velocity of B with respect to A. Now this would be equal to simply velocity of F, right, with respect to C plus velocity of C with respect to D. Can I write down this in this way? Is the equation is fine? Just think about this. See, both A and D are fixed points. So I can go for this velocity of F through both the routes. I can follow this route as well as I can follow this route. Right? So velocity of F with respect to B plus velocity of B with respect to A. That will be the absolute velocity of this point F. Then again, the absolute velocity of point F, it could also be written through this route. That is velocity of F with respect to point C plus velocity of C with respect to point D. Fine. Now let me write down in this form that this will be simply BF vector plus AB vector is equal to CF vector plus CD. Now if you clearly observe here, right, so I'm sorry, it will be not CD, it will be DC. Sorry. So if you clearly observe here, right, see, this is the vector equation. Now in this vector equation, which vectors are known to us? Just tell me quickly, in this vector equation, which vectors are known to us?
AB.
AB and CD.
AB and CD is known to us, right? So this AB is known to us in this DC vector, right? This is known to us, right? Now which two quantities are not known to us? This is BF and CF, right? Now just tell me, so at this point I'm going to stop. Just think about this, that how can we then calculate? How can we then find out this velocity of absolute velocity of F? See, AB, DC vector, they are already present on the velocity diagram, right? AB is also present, DC is also present, right? So all these vectors, they are already present on the velocity diagram. What we have to find out? We have to find out the velocity of F with respect to B. And again, the velocity of F with respect to C also, right? So these two terms, right? BF vector, CF vector, right? They are simply what? Relative velocity terms, right? So now just think about that. So any guess?
Sir, like in previous case, here also VFB will be perpendicular to BF and VFC is perpendicular to CF. So we will get a intersection point as F.
Right. So very good. So now this is very obvious. So in this vector equation, if you observe, these two vectors are there, BF vector and CF vector. So the point is ultimately draw this BF vector and CF vector simply, right? So if you have to draw this, right, what you need to do? You need to locate point F on the velocity diagram, right? Now, if you go back, right, so you have to locate this point F on the velocity diagram. And now if you go back, so just remember, here I have made an important point to note that either you know the direction of two vectors or you know the magnitude and direction both, right? So here, fortunately, the direction of two vectors are known to us, right? So direction of BF vector and CF vector are known, right? So now what you have to do? Simply throw point B, draw a line perpendicular to BF, right? And again, throw point C, draw a line perpendicular to CF. This is very, very easy, right? Now, the intersection of these 2 points, the intersection of about 2 lines simply gives you the point F. Fine. Now, velocity of F, or you can simply say the absolute velocity of this point F, right? So you can write down VFA vector or simply VFD vector, whatever you wish, right? So it will be simply equal to AF vector. Now let us go back and draw this. So first of all, take this line BF, right? And draw a line through B, which is perpendicular to this BF, right? So this is somewhere going here. And then this is your perpendicular to BF. So this is one line which I have drawn. This is going through B like this, right? And then the next line you have to draw through C. So that should be perpendicular to CF, right? So this is somewhere here, perpendicular to C. So here somewhere you are getting this point F, right? Now you have to find out the absolute velocity of this point F. So what you need to do is simply join this. Join A with F. Right? So this is your absolute velocity of point F. So just again measure this length, measure the length from velocity diagram, right? Measure the length and check the direction or mark the direction simply. So see, this is the entire analysis of a 4-bar mechanism. So I hope this is clear to all of you. So any doubt till this point? Is it okay? All the steps are clear? Any doubt? Anyone? Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So till now there is no doubt, right? Okay. So now let us move ahead. Now I'm going to talk of a very important concept. Maybe if you can, if you wish, then you can use, and if you don't wish, then you can ignore that, right? But sometimes, like what happens when this velocity analysis is or the mechanism or the given mechanism is too much complex, then actually this kind of like concepts, they are very useful. So what is this that concept? Let me discuss this thing, right? So this concept is generally called as velocity image, right? See, these are certain concepts which are often asked in, let's say, interviews or somewhere, let's say in somewhere competitive examinations or something like that, right? Especially in interviews, because most of the time the panels, right, the interviewers, they know that these are the concepts which usually nobody teaches, right? Or most of the people think like it's not useful, right? So they point on all these concepts. So that's why these concepts are very important to remember, right? Now what is this concept? This concept is called as concept of velocity image, right? Now what is this velocity image? So first of all, just remember that velocity image what is the application of this? First of all, let us try to think in that direction. So velocity image can be used to calculate the velocity of offset points. Very important, offset points on a given link. a very, very important point, right? That it could be used to calculate the velocity of offset points on a given link, right? Now, what is this velocity image? Now let us compare triangles BFC and BFC. So triangles small BFC, then capital BFC. Okay. So what is a small BFC? Small BFC is simply your velocity diagram, right? And this capital BFC is nothing. This is the configuration which is provided to us. Right? So just let us compare these two triangles, right? So let me draw this triangle. Try to show this in a different way. Right? So this is the triangle which I am talking about, this one. So better let me hatch this one so that it remembers. It is easy to figure out, right? So this is the triangle which I am talking about, triangle BFC. Okay. Now let us try to compare these two triangles. So if you observe, first of all, that these two triangles are similar. So this is the first point which you have to note down. So this is very obvious. All these triangles, right? So if you observe carefully, this triangle BFC is similar to this triangle small BFC, right? So the only thing is the length of sides are different. But if you observe the angular, by angular argument, you can very easily say that, okay, these two triangles are similar, right? So these two angles, if you observe, these angles will be equal to the angles which are given here, right? So first of all, this is one important point to note down. Then let us move ahead. Okay, first is these triangles are similar. Then again, any other important thing which you can observe here? Just I'm asking you now. Any important thing, any other like remarkable thing which you can observe here? So if you remember what we did to locate this point F, we draw a line perpendicular to BF, then we draw a line perpendicular to CF, right? This is the thing which we did, right? So just think about it. Is there any remarkable thing which means observation which you can spot here for these two triangles? So first is these two triangles are similar. Any guess? Anything? Okay. If I say that this side small BF, right, it is perpendicular to capital BF, then am I correct or not?
Yes, sir. So similarly, BC will be perpendicular to BC, capital BC, and small CF to capital CF.
CF, right? So see, this is very easy to guess, right? Now, triangles are similar and side BC, it is perpendicular to capital BC, right? Then side BF is perpendicular to capital BF, then side CF is perpendicular to capital CF. So all the sides of the smaller triangle, they are perpendicular to the sides of, let's say, triangle denoted with capital letters, right? So these two are very important observations which you have to note it down. Now, in such cases, we simply say that BCF is a velocity image, right? So this concept you have to remember, right? So VCF is a velocity image of capital BCF. BFC. Okay, I'm sorry. Never write it down, let's say like BFC. Write it down as a in anti-clockwise fashion, right? So means just remember, if you are writing down here like in clockwise fashion, that is BFC. So here also follow BFC. If you are writing BCF, so here also follow BCF, right? So let me write down in that way. I think that will be much better. So just start from the base and then we will go vertically upward. Right? So I think this, if you write down this as BCF, that will be much better. Right. So here, if you observe, this BCF is a velocity image of capital BCF. Right. Now, let me quickly mention few important points here. See, if the interview asks, right, so you won't be able to describe this thing in this way, right? So that means you need to a proper statement to define this velocity image, right? So let me let me mention few important points. So first of all, velocity image is obtained by rotating the right. So by rotating the shape of the link through 90° in the direction of angular velocity. So first of all, you have to note down this point, that how this velocity image is obtained. So let's say if you have to form the velocity image of a given link, so it will be obtained by rotating that particular link or the shape of the link through 90° in the direction of angular velocity, right? So this is the one point which you have to note. So this is the simple definition of velocity image. If anyone asks you, you can mention this definition, right? Now, the other point which you have to note is order of letters. So if you are going to rotate, then you have to keep in mind that order of letters in velocity image, right? It must be same as in the configuration diagram, right? Or you can simply say the position diagram, nothing else, right? So the order of letter must be same. While rotating, you have to keep this thing in mind, right? Otherwise, you will lose the entire picture. Now, another very important thing, the ratio of size of different images to that of the corresponding links. So this is not okay, leave this point. This point is not that much important, right? So about 2 points are fine. So this point is simply trying to say that you can have n number of velocity images in a diagram, right? So that is the point. And the thing is that the length of these sides BC, BF, they should not be equal, right? They will be in some ratio, but they will never be equal, right? So just remember these 2 points. These 2 points I think are sufficient. So first of all, how it is obtained? By rotating the shape of the link through 90° in the direction of angular velocity, and then keeping the orders of letter same as given in the configuration diagram. Right? So now let's talk about something, angular velocity of links. So first of all, let us talk about angular velocity of link BC. Right? This is also very important thing, right? Angular velocity of link BC. So can anyone just tell me quickly what will be the angular velocity of link BC? That means this link. Anybody? How can we calculate the angular velocity of link BC? See, first of all, if you have to see this entire picture, see, if this link BC is rotating, right? If this link BC, this is going to rotate. So you can imagine something like this. Either this point B, it is going to rotate about this point C, right? Or you can imagine in this way that this point C, it is going to rotate around this point B. Very obvious, right? Now, since the velocity of this point C, that will be perpendicular to this BC, and the velocity of point B, that is going to remain perpendicular to this BC, right? That is also fine. Then if the velocity of C with respect to B is known to us, which is known to us, that is velocity of C with respect to B, right? Or you can simply say the velocity of B with respect to C, that is also known to us, because you have to simply change the direction, right? Then how can we calculate the angular velocity of BC? Just tell me this thing quickly. See, the velocity of C with respect to B is known, right? Simply take this, right? So that means we know this VCB vector, right? Sorry.
CB by BC.
So it will be very simple. This simply VCB by BC, right? Nothing else. Since ultimately we know that finally this point C, it is going to rotate relative to B, right? So if it is going to rotate relative to B, or you can say vice versa also, that B is going to rotate relative to this point C, right? Then we can simply say that omega BC is nothing. This is your what? VCB divided by BC. So this will be the angular velocity, right? Now let us talk about angular velocity of CD. Okay, one more thing I would like to ask you. See, this is the magnitude which we have calculated. Can you point me the direction? What will be the direction of this omega BC? So that means, will this blink BC is going to rotate clockwise or anti-clockwise? What do you think?
Clockwise.
No. See, let me give you one hint. When I draw this AB vector, I drew it downwards, right? Why? Because this was rotating in clockwise direction. Now think again.
Anti-clockwise.
Simply it will be anti-clockwise. What is the reason?
Sir, as AB moves clockwise, the point B will move downwards and C will move upwards.
Right. So
Sir,
see,
the velocity vector of BC is like
right.
upwards.
So see, the very simple thing which you have to note it down here is that this BC vector is pointing upwards, right? So the BC vector is pointing upwards. That means this C, the point C, it is going to move in upward direction, right? Because the velocity, tangential velocity of this point C with respect to B will be somewhere in the upward direction, correct? So that means it is going to rotate anti-clockwise. So this is how you can figure out. So BC vector is pointing upwards. So omega BC it is in anti-clockwise direction. Now let us talk about angular velocity of length CD. So what will be omega CD? Just tell me quickly. Okay, so just tell me quickly what will be omega CD?
VCD by capital C.
Right, so it's very obvious that this point D, it is going to move relative to C, then it will be simply velocity of C with respect to D, right? So here I'm just taking the magnitude, so that's why I'm removing the vector sign, divided by C, right? And what will be the direction? Just see from here and tell me the direction. This is pointing
Clockwise, sir.
Right. So this velocity of C, it is pointing in this direction, if you observe, right? Velocity of C with respect to D. So this DC vector, velocity of C with respect to D, it is pointing in this direction. right? So this is the direction. So this is simply clockwise direction. Right? So I think most of the things are now clear. Now there is one more important thing. So this is a very important thing, but I am giving this task to all of you, right? So I'm not going to discuss this here. So this task I'm giving to you, velocity of rubbing. It is asked in many competitive examinations, right? So this is a very simple concept, right? So just think about this. What is this velocity of rubbing? And you can find this thing in your SS Ratan book also. So this part I'm leaving to you. This is very simple. If you have any doubt into this, then you can ask me. But for now, you can do it yourself. This is very simple. Velocity of rubbing. So just try to figure out what is this, right? And how are we going to calculate it, right? Now I'm moving further. I'm moving further to slider crank mechanism. Right. So after these two, we are going to solve some numericals, right? Maybe in the next session. But right now, let me finish this slider crank mechanism. This is also very easy, not very typical. So let me finish this quickly and then we will wind up. Okay. Now again, let me write it down quickly that what is given and what we have to find out. So first of all, given is that this crank, or you can simply say crank OA, rotates at angular velocity omega in clockwise direction. So first is this thing is provided to us. Now what we are interested is length of links are also given, length of OA, AB, OB. We can simply measure from the configuration diagram. So always remember these diagrams are generally referred to as configuration diagrams. Right? So you can call them position diagram, configuration diagram, whatever you wish, right? So these are the given. Now to find out what we have to find out, the velocity of slider B, right? Okay. So now I'm not going to write down the entire steps. This is very easy. Now you just tell me like from where we should start, right? So just tell me from where we should start. So first of all, what will be the vector equation? So we are interested to find out the velocity of a slider. So what will be the vector equation?
OA plus AB.
OA plus AB is equal to what?
BD.
Okay, BD. Okay, fine. BD or BD. You can also call BD as
OB.
OB, right? So now this is very simple. So first of all, see, always write down in this form. Then it becomes easier to write down in there, say like the other notation. So first of all, write down simply that velocity of B with respect to O, right? Velocity of B with respect to O, right? This is simply equal to velocity of B with respect to A. Fine, velocity of B with respect to A. So just follow this sequence, nothing else. Plus velocity of A with respect to O. So are you not, okay, sorry, I'm sorry. Let me denote this with the small letters. Right. So see, are you noting down any pattern? So simply see from where we are starting, the point, the output in which we are interested, and then we are moving towards the fixed point. So just try to note down these patterns, right? So velocity of B with respect to O is equal to velocity of B with respect to A, then we are moving towards this for this fixed point, velocity of A with respect to B. Now you can simply say that this should also be equal to what, velocity of B with respect to D, BBD vector. Now let me write down this equation quickly, that OB vector, right, is equal to DB vector is equal to AB vector plus is equal to OA vector. This is very simple, right? Now, how to draw this? Okay, so let me first start with the vector which is completely known to me, right? So which vector is completely known to me, right? So out of this vector equation, just tell me quickly which vector is completely known to me,
OA.
right? OA is completely known to me. So what is this OA vector? OA vector is nothing. This is simply equal to what? OA multiplied by omega, right? Now let us draw this first. So let me call this point. Let me take a fixed point here. Okay, so let me take a fixed point here. Let me call this point as O comma D, right? Now just tell me that fine, OA vector, are we going to draw upward or downward?
Downward.
Downward, because it is going to rotate in clockwise direction. So you can very easily guess here that velocity of A relative to O, it will be in the downward direction. So let me draw this OA vector, right? Fine. Now what we are interested in, we are interested to find out the velocity of this point B, right? So is there any vector which is, any other vector which is completely known to us? I think no. No other vector is completely known to us, right? So see, either you take what? OA we draw, this vector is done. Now what is left? AB vector, and then what is left? DB vector, right? So just think here that AB vector is known in magnitude. Is this known in magnitude? AB vector, velocity of B with respect to A. Is it known in magnitude? See?
Yes, sir.
How? AB vector is right now not known in magnitude. Is it possible to calculate AB vector right now? No, no information is given. Omega, or let's say like any other, if only way to calculate this is to find out this angular velocity, right? So that is not given. So AB vector is not known in magnitude, but do we know the direction of this AB vector?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is this direction is?
Sir, rightwards.
Rightwards, and then perpendicular to
AB.
AB.
AB. See, this is very important. You have to check the directions, right? So see, just form the vector equation. This is also for practice. Once you become somewhat expert into this, even writing down this vector equation is also not required. You can directly proceed for this graphical diagram, right? But writing down this vector equation initially, it helps, because then we can easily figure out which vectors are involved. So when this is involved, this is involved. So once this is done, just cross this and come to the next vector. Think about that, whether direction or this thing is known, right? So here we don't know the magnitude, but we know the direction. Now think about this DB vector, right? So just tell me, is DB vector known in magnitude? DB, that means velocity of B with respect to D. Is it known in magnitude?
Sir.
No, right? And do we know the direction?
Yes, sir.
What is the direction? So what will be the velocity of B?
The parallel to D.
Very good. So it will be simply in this direction, right? So DB vector is parallel to simply OD, right? So now we know the direction, and then again we know the what? The direction of two vectors. So here, if we know the direction of two vectors, then I said to you, just remember this point, simply draw this. So throw O, first of all, throw this point to O, right? Draw this, try to draw this OD, right? So just simply draw this line, right? So see, which point we are trying to locate here? Can anyone tell me? Which is the common point in these two vectors?
B.
B.
We are trying to locate B, right? And also that is our output which we want. So throw this O, draw this line OD, right? Parallel to this, right? And then throw A, draw another line which is perpendicular to AB. So let me draw through A, another line which is perpendicular to this AB. So AB is going somewhat here, and then this is somewhat here. So now it is very simple. This is your point B. Now, if you are interested to find out the velocity of a slider, so V B vector is simply equal to, right? VB vector is simply equal to what? This OB vector. Right. So this is, now you can draw the solid lines, right? Okay. And now see, one vector, this is also known, another vector VBA, right? Sorry. Now these are known in magnitude and direction both, right? So let me write down in short form, magnitude M, direction D. So both are known. Here also now VBA vector, so velocity of B with respect to A. So now this is going to close like this. So VBA vector, this is also again equal to AB vector. So again, this is known in magnitude as well as direction. So now these two vectors, they become known to us, right? So this is very, very simple, very, very easy, right? So see, this is nothing. This is simply your triangle law only. So here, if you observe, this vector is going like this, then this vector is going to like this, then another vector, this OD vector, it is going to close this loop, right? So this is just coming opposite to the direction in which these were flowing. These vectors were going, right? So now, let me again take an offset point on this. Let me take this point E. So can you calculate the velocity of point E? I think now this is very much easy. How are you going to calculate this velocity of point E? Just tell me quickly.
So first we find the position of point E on AB.
Right. So how are you going to find out this thing? So see, for this portion, what you need to do? What was your equation? What was your equation which is going to find out the location of this point E? So it is simply see AE upon, right, AB is equal to AE upon AB. Oh, I am sorry, not AB. So what should I write down? Write it down there.
BE.
BE, yeah, AE upon BE. I think this is also fine, no problem, right? So I think this will also give you this thing, right? So okay, try this thing yourself. This is also going to give you the same thing, I think. Right? So AE upon AB. No, I think no, should not be like that. A upon AB is equal to AE upon AB. Fine, I think this is fine, because why I'm saying that if we consider this AE upon, let's say, BE, right? So it will be now BE, length BE, but we are interested to locate this point, right? AE. So this BE is also not known to us, right? So did you got my point? Why I took AB?
Yes.
Because this B is not known, right? Because this is velocity of B with respect to velocity of E with respect to B. So that we are actually interested in. So somewhere we should know this thing, right? The denominator, then only it will be possible to find out. So this is one thing which you can do, right? And now the last thing, the angular velocity of this omega AB, this is simply what? Where VBA velocity of B with respect to A divided by AB. So now just tell me, will it be counterclockwise or clockwise?
Counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise, because we can see that velocity of B with respect to A, it is in pointing upward. So pointing upward is going like this, and then this is counterclockwise. Okay, one more thing, anti-clockwise or counterclockwise, whatever you want to say. One more thing, many times one may argue that, sir, why are you drawing this vector like this from A towards B? Why not like this? So can anyone just tell me why I'm not drawing the vector like that? Just in the reverse direction. So every time I'm pointing it upwards. See, somewhere we need to actually satisfy the triangle law, right? That is the reason we are doing that. So how are we going to satisfy this triangle law? A very important thing which you have to note it down here, right? So see, fine. First of all, we located this point B, and we directly said that we are interested to calculate the velocity of slider B. right? So velocity of B with respect to O. So this vector, this is already marked in the velocity diagram. We already marked this vector in the velocity diagram, right? Correct. So now, if we have to satisfy the triangle law, then it should go like this, that this is pointing like this, and this is pointing in this direction. Then only this is going to close this loop, right? This side is going to close the other two sides, right? So that is the reason. That is the reason preferably we go for this thing, right? A, B vector, right? So that let's say if anyone asks that, okay, velocity of O relative to B, then you could have put it like this, right? In that case, again, you need to see mark it upward only. Then only it is possible to close. No. Sorry. So in that case, you can mark it downward. I'm sorry. So see, this is O A B, then O A, then you can put it the vector in the opposite direction. So this is somewhere just to satisfy the triangle law, right? But never get confused here. So first just mark your vector, which is output vector, which is required. Then mark the remaining vectors. So if you mark this vector first, right, then you can actually miscalculate the direction. So that thing you have to keep into your mind, right? So, okay, for today, I think this much is enough. So in the next session, we will take some numericals on the velocity analysis. Then finally, we will go further for this acceleration analysis as well. So see, here actually, I'm not able to actually use any roller scale or anything. If it would have been a, let's say like actual classroom, then I could have showed you this thing with the scales and this, all these things, but right. So I I request you just go and try to practice this. Try to practice this using scales and all those things, right? So, okay. So any other doubt here?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir,
Yes.
sir, this the velocity image, I mean the velocity diagram which you have drawn is only for the diagram which is shown, right?
Right.
Sir, because if the position of that OA vector, which was having angular velocity of omega, it was pointing in the downward direction.
Right.
At that particular time, we
Right.
would have different diagram, right?
Yeah. Very good. Very important question means which you asked. That means I got your point. I think you want to say that this OA vector, it can change direction, right, with respect to
Yes.
time. So this
Yeah.
is very good point which you have made. See, this particular configuration, it is provided to you at a given instant of time. So we are drawing all this velocity diagram at a particular instant of time. So definitely this velocity diagram, it will not remain the same at different time instants. So relative to time, this velocity diagram, it is going to change. So this is
Yeah, sir.
drawn.
So sir, when that slider is at its maximum end, after that, both that velocity would be in the same direction.
Yeah. It could be possible. So right now, this has been drawn actually for the given configuration only, right? So for the given configuration at a particular instant of time. So this can change. The velocity diagram can entirely change with respect to time, right? The direction and all those things. Correct. So this is correct. You are right.
Okay,
So
sir. Thank you.
anything else?
No, sir.
So are you taking some interest in the subject or not? It means huh? Does this subject looks interesting, or like if anywhere you find it boring, then just let me know. So I will try to make it more interesting. So see, I'm going very slow right now because this velocity analysis and all this, these are very important, and this is entire physics, you know. So just try to understand the physics, because physics, more than I think the mechanical engineering, the subject physics is interesting. So when you talk of vector and you apply this physics into this mechanical engineering, right, so it becomes more interesting, right? So okay, then let me end this meeting. So if you have any doubt, anything, then you can write an email, right? Okay, thank you all of you.
Thank you, sir.